Hey everyone, Kit with Burn 1 here, doing a little commentary video by myself this time on a locals finals match here. It's actually Tyler with Hatsune Miku with the soundless voice combo at 1, and then the new gold bar combo for Miku from the third set as the top end, versus Nico on Goblin Slayer playing the Priestess build. This matchup is kind of interesting a little bit. I think it really depends on who, or if Tyler is able to get, what is it called, the off-time Makoto from Miku. If he can get that going, I think he'll be fine, because generally Goblin Slayer gets up to like, what, 8k, which can't really beat over the 1-1 Len walls at level 1. So I mean, if he can tri-field it, which the deck is designed pretty well to do it almost every game, and then put the off-time Makoto in the back, he'll probably be able to force Nico to run in every turn, which feels kind of bad sometimes, but overall it's like okay-ish for Goblin Slayer, since you know their combo can't really miss because you get to search or salvage the combo. The only downside is that defensively they won't be able, in 2 lanes, won't be able to use the torch counter to mill themselves out of bad situations during their opponent's turn, which is one of the strongest things as far as Goblin Slayer goes for having the torch combo go itself. Yeah, we have Nico here. He's getting a little aggressive early, which I think is pretty good for the most part versus this type of deck for Miku, because the level 1 combo relies so heavily on getting the climax to their hand. So if you're able to remove key cards, or key climaxes in this case, and I guess some cards from waiting room, it makes it a little tougher for Miku to get off triple Lin walls, I guess, at level 1. So kind of pushing him here early is, in my opinion, kind of the thing you want to do. You give him less stock to work with at level 1. Makes everything a little bit tougher, because if he needs to play one of them from his hand directly, then it becomes kind of tough if he doesn't have the combo. But it looks like Tyler just drew into the combo, so he's probably in a really good position here to be able to do at least double, maybe triple. We'll just see here if he ends up getting the off-time Makoto Miku card that gives +1 level 500 on opponent's turn, which is like I said, pretty strong in this matchup, in my opinion, because it does force the crashing in 2 lanes to be able to deal damage. Otherwise, he can't side. Oh, looks like he got one of the 1-1 lens sent to clock immediately from a Ricky effect. So kind of tough. Yep, there it is. I believe that's the off-time Makoto. It's like pay 2, or no, tap 2, draw 1, ditch 1, as well as on opponent's turn, give 500 power and a level to the front. I guess it's not really like off-time Makoto, because off-time Makoto is level 0, but still, this is a really strong card to be able to field in this matchup. So yeah, being able to get that card is, like I said, pretty powerful, and I don't know why I thought it was like off-time Makoto. It's actually just always +1 level and 500 in the front, which is pretty good. I'm not sure. Does he have blue in the clock? I think he does there. I'm not 100% sure. I can't tell if that's green or blue. The glare is a little bit too much. Either way, if he's able to field it this turn, it's pretty good, because he's going to be able to, depending how hard he pushes here, he can either go for the level 1 combo right now to get them out and maybe force Nico to lose hand over time by having to crash in 2 lanes every turn, which really sucks. But he can also kind of play a little bit slower here, I guess, if he wants. Yeah, so yeah, he has blue here, so he's able to play it, which is pretty powerful, like I said. So yeah, if he's able to do that here, I would just try to go for at least 2 lanes with the Len if he has it, but he can probably do triple here maybe. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to do that. He goes for the draw ditch and get rid of the gold bar. He triggered earlier to his hand, which is pretty good. It's another really strong thing about being able to run that 1-0 Miku, is that you do get every turn can draw drop, which helps you hand fix and get things like gold bars and stuff out of your hand right before refresh, or if you need to draw that crucial climax or anything else that you need to draw off of it, you know, it gives you one more chance to go there. Also, it's pretty powerful in what is it, Soundless Voice deck, because you can use the effect on your Rins. I feel like I'm mixing their names up, or Rins, I think, and then do the change, because the change happens on climax placement, I believe. You do search from deck and send them to memory. So it's like another thing you can kind of do there, which is pretty good. So yeah, it looks like he's only able to field 2, it looks like, this time around. He does play the 1-0 event here, yeah, so he can untap a character and then shuffle back in, or not shuffle back in, but put a card to the bottom of his deck, a character card, I believe. So he does that to set up the guarantee, and get a stock back as well, guaranteed to at least get the 2, so you have one in deck there. And then he just has to pull out another one, and there we go. So like, yeah, being able to shut down these 2 lanes is a really powerful move. If for some reason Nico ends up stuck at level 0, he's gonna be in a really tough position. I mean, unless he gets some really crazy god cancels off the following turn afterwards. But usually in those situations, you do not want to be in a scenario where you're not able to manipulate your deck to force good refreshes. Since you are playing Goblin Slayer, he's definitely going to be looking to get his combo off and at least be able to like main phase them the following turn, or if he sides for some reason like that, or at least in one lane, he'll be able to play the torch effect and go from there. One thing to note too is that most Goblin Slayer players, for the most part, either play 4 torches directly, or one of the from the TD, or sometimes they play a one of from the booster, which does let you pick a character and move it to any open slot. It's another really good effect to have, because generally Goblin Slayer's level 1 game is 7k defensive, and sometimes you have a 2k counter or anything like that. So a lot of times opponents might run their board in, and then in response you can use the torch effect to move the back row characters to the front row and then kill them. So people who try to abuse Brainstorm all game, and they're not setting up their hand just in case to avoid those scenarios or things like that, or making sure their front board is always alive, end up losing out on their Brainstorm and falling behind that way. So in this scenario too, it's actually pretty bad that Tyler was forced to, or the Miku player was forced to run into the level 0 Goblin Slayer, because that card does force a card across from it to front attack. Because of that, Nico's in a position that would be, or the Goblin Slayer player would be in a position now that he can move the 1-0 support from the back row to the front, and I do believe most Goblin Slayer, there it is in the top 4, or off that Brainstorm, you can see he does play the Witch level 1 bomb, or Suicider, whichever you prefer, and because of that he can actually move up the Miku from the back row and then run in, be able to kill off the lens, making it kind of a tough scenario for the Miku at level 1, because if he loses that back row support there, it makes it so that he can clear a lane as well as removing the +1 level, making it so if need be he can side level 1s if the walls get too oppressive for him. Man, that's such a good card effect here. So that level 0 Tyler going ahead and moving it to stock, but yeah, whenever you use an event, you have the option of sending it to stock, which is really good. So if you ever get rushed early and you use a torch and bring it over there, you just build a little extra stock to guarantee that you have stock for your Priestess and stuff like that. And whenever your hand kind of have too much hand, you can field it to the board and send it to stock after using an event, which feels really powerful. Goblin Slayer as a deck is just so strong. The 1-0 torch event that lets you top check 4, add 1 to hand, the fact that it has the counter on it, the fact that the level 1 combo can search it out or salvage it depending on whatever deck state you have, it's just really powerful. It's probably, I want to say it's like the best level 1 game in Weiss right now. Like, I guess the only downside is you're forced to run a really good event, which I don't think anyone is upset about. But yeah, I don't know why they let Goblin Slayer level 1 search or salvage the torch event. It seems very spooky. And on top of that, it's actually on a gate combo, and gate is probably the best trigger in Weiss. Just being able to pick anything you want out of your waiting room. Any character to set up your hand is just really strong as a +1. So if you trigger gate, you don't feel bad either. Unlike other climax triggers like 2 soul, sometimes feels really bad, especially late game. So yeah, I don't really think here that Nico's going to be able to get his Goblin Slayers over. Yeah, he's just kind of hoping to pray, I guess, off the brainstorm. Maybe he can trigger events or something ridiculous like that, but I don't think so. I think he's out a lot of events at this point. So here we go. He salvages. It looks like he's going to triple salvage here just because he has it already set up. He's going to be able to push Miku into level 2 or higher, depending how the damage distribution comes out. Yeah, see here, because the level 2, I want to call it level support so much because Dean always says that now. But the fact that the Miku in the back row gives +1 level to the lens makes it so he's forced to do the front attack because you're just kind of looking to push damage. The way Goblin Slayer plays out is you want to play, you can play pretty aggressive or you can play a really slow game. I think slower game is better, but in this case you're just forced to front attack here for the damage. You're already in a position that's pretty good. He has 7 cards in hand to discard 1, so like there's no reason for him to run things in, and he's just about to refresh, so you're not looking for opportunities to counter with the 1-0 torch. You're mostly kind of waiting and biding your time for the Priestess level 2 game plan, which is just slam them on the board, you play the climax, and in those cases when you play the climax too, I mean, you don't feel as bad at siding a level 2. So you can force them to run into your priestesses the following turn, which is really, really annoying, and then opens up slots in the front row, which is a little bit of a double head, kind of like double heads or two-sided sword or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, is the fact that it's a very risky play because whenever they open up the slots, and if you have the climax, you end up swinging in for like 4-4-4, which is feels pretty bad. Just because swinging for such big numbers after first refresh usually is not that great because most decks are in a state where they're pretty decently compressed. Alright, so here, like I said, I mean, kind of right now Goblin Slayer is in like an okay position. I think worst case scenario here is if he gets stuck at level 1 here, he's going to be forced to play his event counters, the torches, to try to find goblins again, Goblin Slayer level 1s again or something, just so he can get into a position that lets him use the climax combo again, especially if he draws the gate again or already has it in his hand. Haven't been really keeping track of his hand here, so I'm not exactly 100% sure here. Alright, looks like Tyler here is going for the digging. Moves a card to the bottom, built to the extra stock here. See, 3, 4, 5. Have 5 card in hand, not too bad. He's at level 2, so he is able to use the 2-0 event, which is very broken. So that event itself lets him top check up to 4, add 1 to hand, discard the rest, and then do it again. I'll let him get a decent refresh off too. I believe he still has one more. What's it called? Shot trigger in his hand. I don't know why I blinked so hard there for a second. But puts him in an okay position. It looks like he has the anti-early play counter too, but knowing Nico's a very cautious player. He'll just gladly side attack for days. So yeah, he set up here another change into the 1/1, which is pretty good. He gets extra compression off the memory, which is pretty powerful as well. So there's no reason here for him not to slam the climax. Go ahead and do that. Yep, and we got the third Len out, making it really tough for him for the Goblin Slayer to just do anything without getting to level 2. So it'll feel really good here if, like, swinging in here, we get the Goblin Slayer player Nico stuck at like 1-5, and then he's forced to clock, draw 2, and then kind of usually field bad cards on the field just so he can get some value out of swinging for more stock and stuff, because most likely his hand is kind of setting up to be able to early play the Priestess. So the assumption usually is like the Goblin Slayer player has like at least like maybe two in hand and a climax sometimes, depending on his refresh set up for Priestess. So it can, because you're setting up for that, sometimes your hand gets clogged, and if you get stuck in a position you didn't think you would be in, then you might not be ready to just handle being able to be stuck at level 1 for another turn longer than you expect it to be. Here we go through the refresh. Ooh, no climax on the refresh damage. Let's see, takes the 3. So this is a really good position now. If he cancels his last attack, which he does, it puts the Goblin Slayer. Oh, well, actually, I forgot the Priestess early play does require card and clogs. This is actually pretty unfortunate that it happened this way. But normally in this scenario, you'd be really happy with the play that just happened. So moving on to Miku's board. Like I said earlier, he's going to have 2 lanes that are just basically unkillable for a little while. But luckily, Goblin Slayer does play the level 1 bombs. So he'll be able to at least reverse 1 lane here, and he'll probably crash the other 2. He hit on that Brainstorm too, which is pretty good. He's going for a level 1 Goblin Slayer. So he might be in a scenario right now where he can actually combo off again, which is pretty awesome. So I guess we'll see here if the Goblin Slayer does combo off again, which should be really, really good. It'll be able to let him set up more for Priestess again, because he's going to be able to just kind of burn through his deck very easily after that Brainstorm. He probably had, he comboed last turn, so he does have a lot of events he'll be able to use this turn to mill through his deck and set up another scenario that's really, really strong. Yep, I think he's just grabbing level 1 Goblin Slayers here, hopefully to combo off again, and then so yeah, this is a pretty good position actually for Nico here. Looks like, ooh, Torch again, get another stock here, pretty good. So yeah, he's just kind of biding his time here, trying to set up good stuff. Yeah, he's gonna crash here. Let's see. I guess he doesn't have, or maybe he does. Let's see. Has the climax or not? This guy with too much hand, it seems. He does have the 1/0 Sword Maiden support, I believe, or it might be Priestess also. I'm not super familiar with the characters. I'm wondering if he's gonna play that here. He probably won't. I feel like there's no reason to actually field it because it's not going to affect the board that much. In this scenario, you're probably just going to crash 2 lanes and possibly side in the last lane. But, you know, being really far ahead in damage, sometimes you want to take that risk and just, you know, run cards in for the extra damage, even though you could have the possibility of siding in 1 lane here. We'll see how it plays out. I think if he gets the climax, he might side, but otherwise, we're probably looking at a board of crashing. So yeah, oh yep, he ends up playing it. So Miku right now is in kind of a tough position because he's taking a lot of damage. Hopefully he gets like a triple cancel here. Oh, he does have the climax combo. I'm wondering if he's going to side in the middle lane too, but most likely not, I don't think. But yeah, taking so much damage like that early on is kind of tough. One strong thing about Miku though is if you do play your cards right and play the game pretty slow, for the most part, you can stop clocking really quickly, especially since he's already at level 2, but it looks like we're most likely gonna see a push to level 3 here. Oh, goes in for the 2, gets the cancel there, and then let's see, did he side here? He did. Yep, there's always no having a character on board is just so powerful for Goblin Slayer that you know, you don't minus the -1 damage basically from siding there, because you get a plus off of it, and then you can, in response if need be, use Torch on your opponent's turn when they front attack it, because you know he's going to want to kill or you know, remove cards from his board just to try to stress the Goblin Slayer player a little bit. Unfortunately here, Miku is in a really tough position, being level 3 already, and had to level up one of his level 3 finishers because it looked like he did not have green in his clock, so that must have been the reason going on here. I think in this position, you know, Miku just kind of either wants to combo again and try to push damage, or just like, you know, just swing in. There's no reason, I feel like there's no reason to overplay anything. You're at 3-0, you're not really trying to be too aggressive with your hand. You're not looking to do anything but try to even out the damage field right now. It'd be interesting if he does. Let's see if like Miku does play a gold bar here, because I do see it in his hand, or he might be digging. Yep, gets rid of Ricky. There's no reason to use that effect anymore in the game. Like Miku's been plussing off the board for quite a while now, so he's not too worried here. Yeah, I think you just kind of hopefully play the compression game until you get the Goblin Slayer into a position that your level 3 Miku can go ahead and finish the game out for you. You just kind of have to hope for the most part here, I guess, that you know, you get a turn of like a triple cancel after this, and hopefully everything that happens here does end up sticking. All the damage, maybe some triggers would help too. Yeah, looks like he doesn't play the gold bar, which personally I think that might have been a mistake a little bit. I think in that position I would have just gone ahead and played the gold bar. You just really want damage to stick here because you're so far behind. You're not really playing a slow game anymore, trying to like delay or get an extra turn or two or whatever. Cancel here, and cancel the burn as well off of the shot trigger. Tough times. So now we're aware that 2 gold bars in Miku's hand plus 1 shot in stock. It's kind of tough for him here. We'll see if Goblin Slayer pulls through here. I'm sure he's definitely looking to early play Priestess here. If he can, yep, you're gonna have to clock because there's no reason not to. You just really want to be able to, you know, just triple Priestess if possible. If triple Priestess gets off here, I think it's going to be a really tough game for Miku. Looks like he doesn't have triple Priestess if he's going to go ahead and push up his Brainstorm here just to run in for more damage. It's kind of tough. It's not the best position you want to be in, but I mean, he clocked the level 0 requirement for the Priestess early play, so he must at least play 1, right? Or be able to play 1 this turn. I feel like, well, I guess even without it, you're probably still looking just for cards because you're already far ahead. Ooh, salvages, looks like, I believe that's the level 3, so that's a really good effect off of that. I really like that Priestess support there because it does bond to the TD level 3, which is, oddly enough, like probably one of the better finishers to be playing for the set other than the Musashi Elf level 3. But if you don't have easy access to yellow, then probably you play the TD card anyway. And it looks like he does have the Priestess. I'm wondering if he's gonna, what kind of play he's gonna make here. So we use a torch, but I think he's just trying to force a refresh here. Oh, yep, and then of course that card doesn't go back into his deck because it's still resolving. So I think We're just slamming priestesses here, hoping to hit blue gates if we don't already have one in hand. I mean, if he's able to combo off here, it feels so good. Like, your opponent's 7 damage away from death. Siding level 2s on the board doesn't feel bad at all because you're going to get that neg soul most likely. He does get the effect off of the levels. Or actually, I forgot. The refresh kind of sucks for him because he won't be able to top check from the alarm effect. Either way, though, here he's just... I feel like you're in a really solid position here. If he ends up drawing another Priestess off the early play as well, it feels really spooky, because then Tri-Field Priestess plus Climax is going to be a really tough position for Miku to climb its way out of. So there's the second one. And if we get the Climax and another level 3, that's really such a tough position. Looks like we discarded Gate there for Goblin Slayer. Yeah, so unfortunately for Miku, the deck Tyler's playing here is kind of like I wall up and that's all I do for the game. So like if you don't answer it, you know, the game's not that interesting for the Miku player. You just sit there until you put your opponent in a position to kill them with the Miku level 3 gold bar combo. Which, I mean, he should be pretty set up for at least 2 right now. He does have 2 gold bars in his hand, so he's ready to go off when need be. So I assume he's gonna overplay the level 0. Yeah, he got the third one, which is really, really good. If he has the Climax, then he's in a wonderful position. I feel like if I'm in the Goblin Slayer's position, I would feel like I'm in a position where I shouldn't be losing this game. Ooh, he overplays the 1-0 for the top check ability. That's pretty interesting. I guess he doesn't really value the power that much that it does give on an opponent's turn, because it is a global 1k and all that. He just wants the information. I don't know if that was I'm not even sure if that was a really strong play or not. I guess he wants to know if there's a trigger, because maybe he can side for 2 instead. Maybe that's an okay play then. You just -1 for that. Doesn't really change much here. Ooh, misses a trigger on the minus soul, which is like feels kind of bad, but he got a trigger, you know, so at least he gets the side for 2 there, which he normally would have sided for 1. Here, side for 1 here, yeah. So Miku at 3-3. I think, what is it? He has -2 soul now, I believe. So I think in this case, does Miku all in here? You might be forced into an all-in scenario here. His opponent is at 2-4, 3 damage from the attack, puts him at 7. I mean, if you triple Miku level 3 here, you might be in an okay position, because you can force a 3 to go through in the middle, and the side lanes will... Oh, actually, no, I forgot. Priestess is a global -1k, 1 soul. Yeah, this is a tough position. So he has 2 lanes with the Climax. He can do 2 damage and then burn 3, and burn 3 if he does get the third Miku level 3, or just any level 3, or yeah, a third Miku level 3, which, let's see, 3, 3, 3, and then 1. Is that enough? That's enough, right? So yeah, that's enough to win out the game straight, but you're kind of like trying to hope to high roll here, I guess. We'll see how Tyler resolves this scenario. I'm pretty sure he's gonna, like, you're stuck in a position I feel like you have to all in, because if he hit a blue gate, so you know he has another one in hand, which is really, really bad for you, because if you don't kill his board here, he just gets another turn of Priestess minus soul, and you know it's not that often that you don't get the 3 usually, so you just end up losing out here, trying to wait for the turn to kill. I mean, maybe you can pray too, because if either way you're gonna high roll whatever decision that happens here. You either hope to high roll damage, or you hope to high roll whiffs on the Priestess maybe. Either way, really tough. You might go for the really aggressive play and try to do like triple Miku just so you can get, so you can hopefully not give your opponent another turn, which is might be the best play here. Just because you're at 3-3. Well, you play 3 Mikus, you heal 3 times. I do heal on play. You go to 3-0. Maybe you pray for a turn after that as well. That seems like an okay play. Yeah, I think you just try to all in here. You hope for 3 Miku, able to play off the 3 Mikus. It's going to be really tough for him to get the 3rd Miku, just because he has one in clock already. Wondering if he's planning to move something to the bottom of the deck here to gain 1 extra stock. Is that the plan here? Are we gonna play events here? How all in are we getting? He has a brainstormer hand, I believe, so I'm wondering if possibly overplaying, playing the brainstorm and then brainstorming would be a decent play here, just for compression's sake. Looks like he is not opting for that. He is going to decompress his deck here a bit, I think. Let's see. Gets the hill off. He keeps moving the brainstorm to the front and also the 1-0. I'm wondering if he's like really tempted to play the 1-0 and clock for the 2-0. Oh my! Whew. Making some very, very high rolly plays here. No fear, I guess he's very all in at this point then, if he's not gonna go ahead and go all the way down to 3-0. Because after this he's going to be at 3-4 on the refresh, and if he gets 2 more hills off he'll be at 3-2. Tough position to be in. Ooh, the restand. Put a level 3 to the bottom of the deck, it looks like. We're gonna do another tap 2 to draw. Is that what's gonna happen here? Oh no, yeah, I forgot. He just got the event, so he's gonna be able to grab what he wanted, which was that. Pretty solid there. I'm not sure if he paid out. Did he pay out the 3-2 Miku and that's why he had to play the healer first? Or was it the top card of his clock? I was not paying enough attention there. But if it was on the top card of his clock or one of the recent triggers that he paid out, then yeah, I understand why he played that level 3 there. I kind of missed it there. But otherwise, he maybe played that 3-2 Miku a little bit too early. I'm not really sure there if he did, because then he's just like shuffling extra cards back in his deck. Whereas if he was in a position where he still had 2 more stock and 1 more card on field, plus another card in clock, and then he healed afterwards, I mean, his deck would be a little bit more compressed. He is refreshing with, I believe, I want to say 5? Oh, maybe 4 now, because there's 2. There's 2 in his hand. I think there was 1 in his clock or in his stock as well that he never paid out, so a little tough there. Or maybe he blind stocked 1 and I'm overthinking here. Oh yeah, see, there is 1 there. That was probably a blind stock, actually. I don't think yeah, because the gold bars go to his hand, obviously. So he blind stocked that 1. Yeah, this is a really tough position. I mean, at most he has, what, 4 climaxes in his deck right now, which is feels bad, man. But we'll see here. I think he might go for... Alright, oh, so okay, yeah. He's looking to mill through his deck, I guess, right now, because of the bad position he's put himself in. Or not put himself in, but he was forced into. So we get a salvage here, which is pretty good. I think we... let's see. You probably... Okay, yeah, so if we're going for that... Oh, double brainstorm. All right. Oh my god. So 3 out. So that mostly has what, like 1 left in there. So I think you salvage the 1-0 support just for extra draw, just in case, draw and ditch. What you want to do there is hopefully draw into the level 3 Miku, which I believe is still in his deck. And then you just grab something else, I guess, maybe... Yeah, just anything else at this point. It doesn't really matter. It's just gonna be cards that won't be going back in or just in your hand. Oh, it's that level 0 land before that's like tap 2 and you get a stock or something like that. Or you have to like tap it twice. It's interesting card. You don't actually see it played that often, but it combos with the 1-0 event he does play. But yeah, so we overplay this. Gonna get another 2-0 event. Play the 2-0 event to try to find another Miku. Is what's most likely gonna happen here because there's only like one climax left in his deck, I believe. Oh, he 3-costed it. Oh, okay, yeah. So, all right, he knew where it was. It was in his stock there. So at this point, he's going very all in here. So yeah. We'll see. So yeah, he's not even looking to like hopefully survive a turn after this. After he clears his opponent's board, hopefully. I'm not even sure if the Mikus get big enough to kill the priestesses in the bottom and middle lane there. This is a very long turn as well. Let's see. Yep, very all in here. Going for another 2-0 event. Oh my god. There's the last climax. Doesn't find it. Forces the refresh here. So he's refreshing with one level 3 Miku. He's gonna hopefully get it off the other 2-0 event. Otherwise, he did salvage, I believe he salvaged that. I don't remember now because these turns. Nope, he didn't. I just saw it on the bottom of his deck. He didn't get the 1-0 back to his hand earlier, which seems like a mistake. But I mean, if you get it off of the 2-0 event too. I mean, it gives you another draw into the level 3, which most likely will happen. Yeah, he's pointing out there that his 4th copy is in his clock or level zone because he did not have green. That's probably somewhat of a mistake, right? Because, well, he was at 3-0. I mean, if he had green in hand, he could have probably clocked it as well at 3-0 if he needed to. But I think that turn he was at 3-0, he didn't even play anything. So he was completely fine. Alright, let's see here. So he's at 3-6 now, going into this like 40-minute turn. Here where you just pray to pull it. Oh, he gets a -1 because he can't grab any of those. Alright, yeah, see, he hits the 1-0, so the play here is grab the 1-0, overplay the brainstorm, tap the brainstorm, or tap itself and one of the 1-0s, draw a card, hopefully get it. If not, overplay another character, do it again. So you get 2 draws off of that. I mean, like technically, as long as he has hand, he can keep going for a couple of extra draws. So we'll see if he gets it off the first one. If not, then we can go for a second one, I believe. He got it, which is good. Very excited. All right, so now he's in a good position to like at least try to kill his opponent, but basically like everything except for like one of the ping 4-1s has to go through, which is sad times. It's a really tough position to hopefully pray your opponent he just eats all this damage. So all his Mikus are swing for ping 1s here because of the Priestess thing. So it's a swing in for 1, cancel there. That's completely fine actually. That's really good for Miku. So ping here. Ooh, takes off 2. So you only need 1 of these ping 1s to stick, right? So yeah, then you hope for the 9 to go through, I believe. Yep. 5, yep. So you hope for all the burn 3s to go through. A1, which one? He forgot to play the gold bar here, but I'm pretty sure he corrects himself. Alright, so now that one of the burn threes didn't go through, it's just like kind of over. Oh, hopefully he discards that gold bar. I think he does, if I remember correctly, because I did come in towards the end of this match to see it in person. But yeah, Miku's basically dead here. Oh yeah, there he goes. Discards the gold bar. Miku basically dead. Open lanes there. Swing in for two, swing in for two. I think he gets the reverse there as well from the level 3 Goblin Slayer, and you can't use backups or anything, so, you know. He gets like 4 instances of at least 2 damage each, so like he has to quad cancel here, and you know, he burned through his entire deck so quickly that he definitely doesn't have the ability to cancel 4 times here and live. He has the alarm effect too to let him see his triggers so he can decide attack order. So yeah, Miku's probably dead here. 3, and then on reverse, yep, very dead. GG. Yep. So yeah, that's a really tough match. For the most part, I think Miku has somewhat of an advantage here, just because the Goblin Slayer deck can't really bully the board what it normally does at 1. Because in the Japanese format, there are a lot of low-powered characters that plus, so a lot of people love to play those effects, especially in the Japanese format. So it's really easy to find reverses, even as like small reverses, even for like a 5/5 power at level 1. You can usually find at least one lane to reverse in a lot of matchups in Japanese. So it's a really interesting match that Soundless Voice was the choice for level 1 here for Miku, making it kind of tough for Goblin Slayer to deal with it, because usually they're the ones trying to bully the board with their own advantage engines that are like super good. But in this case, Miku got to bully the board, put Goblin Slayer in somewhat of an awkward-ish position, but not really. Unfortunately, Miku took a lot of damage early on, and then last turn of the game, you know, he had to go into Super Omega all-in mode to get the triple Miku off. I'm not, like I said, I'm not even sure if that's even the right play, or was it the right play. It's just too hard to tell here, and you just got to kind of put yourself in a position where you gotta pray that the Goblin Slayer player puts himself all his climaxes at the bottom of the deck, and like they just eat all the damage or whatever. It's just really tough. Besides that, I don't really think there was anything much else going on in the match I could think of for this matchup. It's just pretty interesting. No one really plays Soundless Voice level 1 for Miku as far as I'm aware of. Interesting choice. Personally, I don't like it. I kind of like the 8 gold bar list a lot more, because you get crazy compression through just slamming gold bars. That's your fake, quote-unquote, fake climax combo. That also provides some memory compression as well. Only downside is the deck does get totally destroyed by people who are playing stock swap. So that might be one of the reasons too you switch over to the Soundless Voice combo instead, to build advantage through huge walls on the field, because your board is a lot harder to remove. Outside of that, it looks like it was a good game all around. Other than that, guys, I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Later. Before you go, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you do enjoy our content, as it does help us grow, and check out some of these social media links below.